We got a mock draft. It's 8 categories. It's 12 teams. It's third round reversal. It's coming up. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and I punch blokes in the mouth for saying that. Don't you dare say that. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and today's episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first order. Thank you also for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free. We are available on all platforms. It's a category mock draft. It's 8 categories, but this one is going to be a Roto draft. And I know most of you don't play Roto leagues. That's okay. I want you to try a Roto league at some point this season. We're going to be running them. And yes, there will be information in the next week about Locked On Fantasy Basketball. It will take somewhat of a different form to what it has in previous years, but we will be doing it, so that will be announced in the next week or so. There's still plenty of information in a Roto mock draft that maybe doesn't, you don't think it aligns to your category league or even to your points league, but there's information here. I'm going to talk about players. I'm going to talk about the differences in strategy with this sort of a league and this sort of a draft as well. So don't disappear. We're going to talk about those things in a sec. Today's episode, though, it is brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth. It's 401ks, it might be properties, investments. You might not have that full picture. So how can you plan things out properly? That's why there is Monarch Money, the all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. It's built for people with busy lives. You can get your finances organized without having to worry about digging into the minutiae, because that's what Monarch does for you. You can identify things that you're not saving as much as you thought you were. You're spending more in certain areas. You can track your goals, you share your finances with your partner as well. Make sure everything is on track as I just lose my voice. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LOCKEDONNBA. Today's episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. The NFL season is almost here, and FanDuel is making sure that you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer right now. A new customer bets $5, and if you bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets to use right across the app. You might want to go straight up, winner, loser, spreads, totals, parlays, props, all that for NFL's opening weekend coming up. It's quick and it's easy, and you can put your knowledge to the test. So if you're ready to play, download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That is FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet, and don't forget to gamble responsibly. Or like I said, it's an 8-cat Roto mock draft. I've got NBA Fantasy Bible in here. Dan, he's in here. And we're looking at this draft. I'm picking 11. Dan's up at number 2. Number 3 in this draft. Again, it's a Roto. It's a third round reversal. It's 8 categories. We've got games max for the season. Again, there's going to be some slight different strategies, but not as many as you think. And we'll talk about that as we go through it. So let's bring the draft room in. And let's go and have a look. We are ready to go. First pick is ready. I'll let these guys know. We are going now. All right, let's unpause this big fella and let's get started. All right, I am at number 3. Is I believe what I said? Yes, that is correct. So again, the only thing I imagine that happens different at the start here is Giannis doesn't go as high. So Jokic 1, Shea 2. You don't have to worry about guys missing games in fantasy playoffs in Roto formats, so that's not going to be a thing. Wemby goes at 3. Again, relatively normal sort of draft start there. That's just the way that these drafts go. And I think, the big change is going to be what people do with guys like Trae Young. Wow, Anthony Davis at 5. That's interesting, okay? Not going to be Giannis. Right, so Giannis is not going to go there. Now, where does Giannis go in a draft like this? That's where we get to the tough questions. Like, where would you be comfortable in taking Giannis? Like, I'm not actually sure how I feel about it. I think I think he can do it in the second round. But it's one you'd like to try and avoid. You're never going to look at, is this guy going to pick? Sean, you're already my enemy. Trae Young. Okay, well, he must have had him in the queue because Trae is not at the top of the auto draft queue. So that's interesting. Okay. Giannis at 7. All right, I'm going to, do you know it's Roto, like the title says. But you know what? It's not impossible. You can, in a competitive Roto league, again, this is something, and I talked about this the other day, you can win leagues by punting a category. If the league is less competitive, if it is shallower, if it has fewer categories than the standard, it is harder to punt. More categories, more teams, more competitive, easier to punt in Roto. Not the ideal strategy, but not impossible. Don't fall into the idea that that is all you can do. Right? You have to get everybody being balanced. You want, ideally, it is easier if your team is balanced across the board, right? But that doesn't mean every player needs to be balanced. It means you need to try to create a balanced squad if you can. I would have taken James Harden there, who just went at 10, so I'm not going to do that. Who I am going to take at this spot? It's a good question. Who am I going to take? Cade's gone. I think it's going to be Steph. Let's look at the clock. 18 seconds. I'm going to take Steph in a Roto league here. This game's not as important. Some good values in points and threes, obviously, and percentages. Yeah. Devin Booker will be a target for me on the flip back, on the way back around. Could I go Steph and KD? I mean, I could. I don't think I'll do that. I think I'm going to throw Booker in my queue. Remembering, we know there's going to be around 6 to 8 rounds, 6, 7, round 8. Well, there goes Sabonis and Towns. Ooh, not what I would have done. Interesting. I'll take Booker there. In round 6, 7, and 8, there's going to be runs on centers. Now, we're only doing a one center starting, which is, of course, what we're looking for. So I don't need to heavily lean into that, but it is still going to be an important point. All right, Kevin Durant is after Booker there, and then Donovan Mitchell, which I don't love Donovan Mitchell there. I think we are. Why is it telling me that Towns is not drafted? No, he is. All right, so Mitchell, Maxey. They're common middle of the second round picks, Donovan Mitchell and Tyrese Maxey, and I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure. I'm also not sure about Sabonis at 12, honestly. I know people go, well, why are you skeptical of Sabonis? Because the second half of last season, especially after Zach LaVine arrived, you know he was like the 35th ranked player? And a lot of the stuff disappeared. Some of the assist numbers just weren't there. Now, that doesn't mean that it's going to be the case. But I'm not going to just go and look at his full numbers and go, that's what he is. That's what he's going to do. Maxey, Mobley, the Bronco, Jalen Williams is your 17, 18, 19 run. Now, because this is third round reversal, I need to start considering what I'm going to do here. The Eldon Maisie, who took Giannis, doubled it up with Mobley. So I'm going to be watching your team, Eldon Maisie, and I want to see how it sort of shakes out on a projected standings type of scenario, how it looks just from an overall team, and are you leaning into that? Are you making sure that your other categories are really sort of, built out as strongly as they need to be? That's what we're going to look at. All right, picks are going off the board here. I better pay attention. After Jalen Williams is LaMelo Ball. Jalen Johnson I like a lot there. LeBron James, Amen Thompson. Okay, all right. I'm good with that. And now we're going to see the end of round 2, which meaning it's going to come back to me really soon here. So I probably need to shut up. Well, not shut up, you know what I mean. Pay a little bit of attention to what I'm doing. I will be... Let's have a look. I will be... Scott Barnes goes to finish it off. I'm going to take Joshie Giddey if it comes to that. If I get the chance. Giddey has point guard, shooting guard eligibility on Fantrax for whatever reason. I've already got a point guard and a shooting guard. That's okay. Booker's got small forward eligibility as well, so we might just push him there just to open that spot up a bit. Rick Roll, what is he doing? What is he making this pick on? Jaren Jackson would be interesting here. Yeah, Kawhi. We're getting into Kawhi territory. That's my pick. He picked Jalen Brunson. A better pick. What am I doing? Let's take Giddey. All right. So where are we going? Brunson, I'm not sure about Brunson. I feel it's marginally early. The question now is going to be, do you take Embiid or do you take Kawhi first? One is healthy, and that is not Embiid. But like if it gets back to me at 48, I don't really want to take him. I'm not going to take Embiid in a head-to-head league there. I might take Embiid in a head-to-head in a Roto league at pick 47. I might take Kawhi there. If I can get 50, if I can get 60 games out of Kawhi, that's a smashing. So I actually am going to put Kawhi into my queue. If these guys are switched on, I don't think that he'll get there. But I'm just going to put him there. No Embiid yet, by the way. Josh Giddey, Chet Holmgren at the third pick of round 3. Jaren Jackson and Tyler Hero. I like the Hero pick there. I know people are going to have some skepticism about some of his shooting numbers, and I think that's right. I think that's fine. But I do think he's still going to be putting up pretty sizable numbers in terms of his scoring numbers, his usage. His free throws are always excellent. Pascal Siakam. Now, this guy's team. Alden Maisie. What's going on here? Giannis, Mobley, Siakam. It's a lot of forwards, and you'll notice that not as many forwards going off the board, really. I'm going to start needing to address my forward position soon, and center. So Dyson Daniels goes at pick 31. Derek White at 32. Again, in Roto, late season shutdowns are not as important. Doesn't really matter. If you get 60 games and it's the first 60, they miss the last 20, doesn't matter. It's all counts the same. So there's a slight adjustment to your thought there. White, Fox, and Murray, the next ones. Also remember, again, I'm going to stress this strategy point for Roto Leagues. You can punt. You don't have to. Punting multiple categories will not work. That will not work. It needs to be one. The more competitive the league, the more viable it is. But if you don't think that punting is a viable strategy, that's okay. You're wrong, but that's okay. But what is important to stress for Roto is that if you are looking to build that balanced team and get scores of 9s and 10s across all categories, that doesn't mean that every player needs to be balanced. Your conglomerate of players needs to be balanced, but you don't have to get, well, this guy is just below average in every category, but see, he's got no real weaknesses. Doesn't matter. If you get someone with a weakness and the next guy you get is a strength and it balances them out to average, it's exactly the same. It's taking two players who are average in that category. So don't eschew players who might have some negatives in some categories just because it's Roto and you need to be balanced. You need your team to be balanced. You need to address your deficiencies. You need to address your imbalances if that's the way you're going. But not every player needs to avoid imbalances. So after Jamal Murray went the headmaster, it went Bam Adebayo at 35, Şengün at 36. They finished the round. Then it was Zion, Austin Reeves, Trey Murphy, Franz Wagner. Okay. A little early on the Franz, but Franz is one of these guys, right, that will look better for Roto because he's going to be a player that you're going to see, oh, that's above average in every category. So that people think that that's a better Roto player. I'm not saying that he's bad. Not at all. But there is an idea, and these players tend to be very much small forward eligible guys. That these players you draft in that area, they have to be just even across the board. So some interesting picks there. Morant goes, which I do like, and then goes Paolo, which is going to be the one that people are always going to be querying, I guess, from a Roto perspective. I think it's fine at that spot. I think it's okay. I would probably, honestly, in a Roto league, I happily take Paolo in round 3 or 4 for head-to-head, and round 1 or probably round 2 for points. Roto would probably push him into 5. After him goes Jaylen Brown to the Giannis team, and then goes Miles Turner, which is probably the earliest I've seen Miles go in a lot of these drafts. This dickhead took Kawhi. 2 away. So I guess it puts me... Brandon Miller would have been a good pick. So it's very early. I'm not going to do Porzingis yet. I'm just going to put him in the queue and go, it's Roto. There is value here. I will take Porzingis at 5 on the way back around. So who am I going to take here? You know what? This is James Butler territory for me. Do I like Jimmy Butler? You know me. I'll take James, and then I'm going to flip it back and get... I think I will take Porzingis with my next pick, which is pick 50, because I believe Porzingis will smash that on a per-game number. Smash it. And I believe that he's recovered from whatever exotic illness he had. He's playing well at Eurobasket at the moment. There goes Zubats at 48. I think another name to look at here is Avdia. I think another name to look at here is Kobe White and Cooper Flagg. Let's just flag it up. Avdia goes at 49. Let's do it. Let's draft Porzingis. I know that Porzingis is going to go much later than this, but I also want to make sure that people are aware that in Roto leagues, I would not do this in head-to-head. I would take Porzingis in round 8. Really, no problem. In a head-to-head, but I wouldn't do this in head-to-head. But I'll do it here. So after Zubats goes, someone asked if I'm planting flags. Not really. No, not really. I'm not a huge flag planter. Like, I'm not something like, this is my guy, I'm going to get him all the time. Not what I do. It's more like I want to highlight certain things in these drafts. Hey, I think it's okay to go to Porzingis in round 5 in a Roto draft. So I'll do it. I think that's okay to do. That's not me like saying, hey, Porzingis is my guy. Not at all. It's more about just highlighting some different ways of doing it. I think this pick here from Nico Gucci, OG Anunoby, the Jedi, is really solid in this spot. Also, the Lowry Markkanen pick by old mate Huge Lop. Now, he's gone Kawhi and Lowry, which in a head-to-head league, you're a disaster. That's horrific, right? Don't do that. But in this format, I think it's good. Although, Markkanen, I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried that some of the production issues wasn't just tanking last season. After Anunoby goes Jordy Poole, Jarrett Allen, who I was worried about quite a bit. With the injury to Max Strus now, I'm less worried because it gives them less wings, meaning that they're going to play double big more. So that helps Jarrett Allen. Des Bane goes, and then Jakob Poeltl, who I do like in that spot. Big yuck. Darius Garland, injured to start the season. That's part of the reason I don't like injured to start the season is that what if the timeline is just way off? Hey, that also, by the way, Cooper Flagg lasting that long is crazy. I did not expect that. I just noticed that now. That is crazy. Cooper Flagg at 59, I did not think that would be the case. Wow. Also, Joel Embiid, still available. There he goes. Unbelievably good pick. Like, that is an unbelievably good pick in that spot. In Roto. Super good. Emmanuel quickly goes at 62, which feels a little early. The next question is going to be, I guess, on the injured dudes is, what do you do with old mate Paul George? Zach LaVine at 63. Cool. Who am I... Should I double down on injured guys? Not that he's currently injured. I can't because Mark Williams just went. And then goes Vooch at 65, which is really good value for Vooch. I think that's a good spot. We are... I think, do I want Kobe White? God, do I want another Bulls player? Jesus Christ, that's pretty disgusting. Every time I bring up a name, he goes, all right, Sean, you took Kobe White. Like, back to the drawing board for me. I'm going to throw Fred VanVleet in my queue. I got one center. I probably will need another one. Miles Bridges, 67. Really, it's all right. It's all right. VanVleet, I was considering it. We are at pick 68. We just had pick 6-7 with Miles Bridges. And then VanVleet, 68. Duran, 69. It is coming to my pick. What am I going to do? I like Peyton Pritchard here, but I won't take him. I like... Oh, no, let's do that. Don't tell me he just went. Oh, well, Pritchard went. I'm going to... This is pretty disgusting. I'm going to take DeAndre Ayton here. That gives me my second center. I'm going to put a Kongwu in my queue as well. Again, I think that... Is that an awesome pick for Ayton? I think it's fine there. Now, looking at my team, Butler, not great health-wise. Porzingis, we know. Is Paul George worth it? I would like, if I was at the back end of round 7, that is very much Paul George zone. Mikal Bridges just goes at 72. I don't think I wouldn't do it with Embiid, but the Quickly team would do it. DeRozan. So what am I doing here? What's my team? I need some scoring. I'm doing this just a lot, man, but I do need some scoring. So let's just take Brandon Ingram. Again, is my team balanced? Sort of. I need some blocks, and I need some scoring. So I grabbed some scoring. And we know that, again, still at this point, points and assists, the hardest categories to get. So I've got to make sure I'm getting them. Got to make sure I'm bumping them up. Alex Sarr goes, well, that's going to help his blocks and hurt mine. People think, yeah, this is what, guys, just because I say I don't like Brandon Ingram's game, or I think Josh Giddey was overrated last season, or Jimmy Butler annoys me, doesn't mean that there's not fantasy value in these players. I'm not trolling by picking them. I'm picking guys at the right spot that contribute the right value that are then more tailored to this format. Pretty straightforward stuff. Oh, you're going to need an explanation with the Ingram pick. You know what the explanation is? You're going to need it. You know what the explanation is? I think he was a good pick there. Holy shit, I took Brandon Ingram at pick 75. Oh my God. Please call the police. I needed scoring. I needed some threes. I needed some out-of-position assists. It's all good, guys. Sarr, Okongwu, Hartenstein, Sharp. I'm going to need an explanation for that one. I'm just going to throw Paul George into the queue. Michael Porter also is absolutely in this mix here. The world's worst podcaster is a risk for end-of-season shutdown, but we don't care in a Roto League. Realistically, it's just not a problem. Jalen Green there, I don't hate it, but, you know, it's Jalen. Where do I get blocks? Did Okongwu just go? Oh, he went before, I missed it. Michael Porter went, damn. Andy Nembhard. I feel like we might be... Maybe we're going a little early on Andy. We're going to move to Cam Johnson territory soon as well. Are these people reading my mind? And no, this is not live. So there goes Cam Johnson, of course, with the next pick. Rudy Gobert. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm very much not taking Simons. Don Klingen's going to give me good blocks, but I don't think my other categories have enough strength to deal with that. Gobert has gone. Yeah, there he is. And where goes Klingen anyway? Okay, so we are, as you will note, look at the centers. Duran, Ayton, Sarr, Okongwu, Hartenstein, Gobert, Klingen in 15 picks. Jalen Suggs, no chance. Absolutely. Again, I love Jalen Suggs. I hate any Jalen Suggs pick at this point. Hate it. I think it makes no sense. Also, Paul George still there. We're in Matas Buzelis territory as well. I know he hasn't proven it, but part of playing fantasy, right, is what do you think is going to happen? No point sitting there and go, well, didn't happen last year. You're right. Who cares? You have to project things. You have to see where are the differences. And, well, thank you for you, old mate Saijan Zero, who took Buzelis and Paul George went. Again, love these picks. Everyone's been really bang on here, I think, for the most part. Really bang on. I like the value of Tamani Kamara here. I don't think I'm going to pick him because I just think my scoring is just not good enough. What's my team projected to average based on my projections? 20 points a game, which is above average still, but a lot of other teams are averaging 21, 22. Now, you can panic on that, and you can sit there and go, I need to get my average up. But what happens in the last picks is teams are going to be naturally drafting lower scorers. So if you get a guy that's at 16 and they get 10-point players, then that balance changes quite a bit and quite quickly. Paul George, Nick Claxton, Andy Wiggins, Cam Thomas. We're getting to me. It's time to lock in. I do like Kamara here, but I don't think it's what I'm going to do. Oh, I do. Okay, what's my team looking like? I've got 2 flexes left. I've got needed guard left. I might just move Booker to that spot. Ingram to small forward. Kevin Porter goes. Then Vassell goes. I didn't even tell you the name that I was considering because now I've forgotten it. No, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to thick hog it here. I'm going to Tobias Harris. Just some solid production, solid scoring, solid percentages, solid enough roll. And I might take Kamara the next one. Brad Beal also interesting. Josh Hart. This is about the right rightish area. Who else? DiVincenzo? No, I was going to take Kamara, but old mate Rick Roll decided that he was going to take Kamara. So, I won't be. Is it... Alright. I'm going to take Nasreed there. I'll take Nas. I think Nasreed's got solid value in a Roto format. I think that there's just enough there with upside built in. He is my 9th pick, but I think my 10th and 11th are going to be good enough to start most nights anyway. That's what I'm feeling. But it's a little early on Nas. It's a little early, but I'm all right on it. Obviously, because I did it. I would have taken Kamara, and the other name that I was considering there is Brad Beal. But I didn't, clearly. Oh, and so there goes Brad Beal. This has been really an exercise in just whatever name that I say disappearing off the board. Hey, somebody should draft Russell Westbrook. Anthony Simons is the tough one, isn't he? Because I don't even know his role in Boston. I don't know if he's going to play for Boston. I don't know what team he goes to where the role might be bigger or smaller. Tough. Well, there goes Simons. I think was that auto? No, it wasn't. He slid him in under the timer. Now, Jason Tatum is the top here of the queue. If anyone drafts Jason Tatum, it's just getting reversed. It's just no point, man. And I think I think in any league you're in, you should have a rule like that. If you see Jason Tatum appear at the top of your board and someone takes him, you know they don't mean to, just fix it up. What's the point? Like, if the guy protests and says, "No, I wanted him. He might come back and help me in the playoffs," then you go, "Fine, you're a dickhead. Take him." But otherwise, and you can tell when someone's got no idea what they're talking about, or it's a genuine mistake that's just really not fair. After Simons goes Khalil Ware and then Keontae George. The Keontae George to the Giannis team is interesting. I think George is an interesting player this season, but I'm not super interested in grabbing him there. Oh, Zach Edey is, again, I don't like that he's going to miss the start of this season. But I'm in Roto, man. I can probably sit him down for a bit. Yeah. Oh, I could if that guy didn't just take Zach Edey. Seriously. John Collins also. How many picks until Collins goes now that I mentioned his name? 1? 2? Where are we? John Collins. Someone take him. Don't make me look too stupid. I do a good enough job anyway. Norman Powell. Ooh, okay. I like that one. Yeah. Do I? Yeah, I think I do. We also might be, and this is just disgusting for me to say, given Max Strus's injury, we're in DeAndre Hunter territory. Goes Draymond Green and Aaron Gordon. Then Scoot Henderson is fine there. I think we're going to start to look at, I wouldn't be looking at Stephon Castle there. So sorry to tell you guys at 109. It's not in Roto. Not really interested in him. No. Dante is going to be also going into my queue. So look, I'm pretty... For my next 2 picks, Collins, Hunter, DiVincenzo, I'm not going to get all of them. I probably do need... Where's my blocks at? Oh, they're not too bad, actually. My steals are a little low. All right. There goes CJ McCollum. There goes John Collins. Well, I guess that one's not happening. Dan, thank you. Brandon Pajimski? Brooke Lopez? Oh, absolutely not. Nah, no way. Nah, no, not a chance of that one. But we are getting into the... Where are the centers? And there are a couple I would have grabbed it. I got Nas. I got 3 centers. Maybe I don't need another one. Ben Mathurin. That's good. I like that one. At that spot. I think my steals are a bit lacking. So let's just throw Herbalife Jones into that queue. A DiVincenzo, Hunter, Jones, trio, Malik Monk. Yeah. I've seen Monk go in the 8th round, which is terrible. In that spot, it's okay. I don't mind it, Shawnee. I think it's all right. I think we've got to start considering Drew Holiday, honestly. There goes Bilal, who, he was... Herb Jones. I'm not a big Jones guy normally. I tell you the other guy that I'm not really that big into, but Keegan Murray is there. D'Angelo Russell, okay. So I've got Hunter and DiVincenzo left in my queue. There goes Pajemski. I might Do I take another Timberwolves guy? Do I take... Yeah. No, I am going to take Dante here. And I think Keegan Murray. I think that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to start getting into flyer territory like Cam Whitmore. There goes Dennis Schroeder, who is actually not terrible there. In Roto, I think you probably want 11 solid enough guys and then some upside swings, because you are in the situation in a Roto league where your bench is definitely, like, it's so easy to stash guys on your bench. I'll take Keegan there. So I'm going to put Jaden Ivey into the queue as one of my flyers. I'll chuck Derek Lively in there. I've got DeAndre Hunter sitting there. Obviously, I'm going to put Cam Whitmore. Also, stashing injured players like Irving, who will 100% be a pick coming up soon, whether it's me or someone else, and DeJounte Murray. It's easy. Wow, Nemesh Keita, the Pastel de Nata. I think one thing you have to look at, right? Eurobasket's going on, so it's the only basketball happening at the moment for our purposes. And you had a big game 2 games ago. The second game, not very good. But you would have heard about the big game where he even took threes. Yeah, you would have heard that. But I think it's still going to be a mess with Boucher, Keita, Tillman, Gaza. No problem with getting Keita, but do I need to jump on it? I don't know about that. There goes Jaden McDaniels. Someone's going to grab Kyle Filipowski soon. I think it's going to be okay. Who else have I got here? I'm just going to throw Scott Pipp. RJ Barrett. Is that the Giannis team? Of course it is, yeah. Yeah, he is drafting in a very, very different mindset. I'm very interested to see how that team ends up looking. It's not projecting well by my projections at all. Pretty badly, in fact. Second worst, actually. But that's okay. Projections are projections. Who knows how it turns out. RJ Barrett, then goes Dan Gafford, who I think Gafford's going to have some value early, and then it's probably going to decline. It'd be my guess. Kyle Kuzma. I'm good with that one, actually. I'm pretty okay with not drafting him. My field goal percentage is actually shitful. But who do I pick? There goes Bob Portis. That's a good pick. Kyrie Irving. Yeah, I knew that would happen. Dan. I would have taken... DeJounte will be back before Kyrie, I think. Quentin Grimes. Look, has he got upside there? If everyone's gone, sure. I don't know. I think that we should look at... you want to talk flyers. I think Jovic is an interesting name. With Highsmith out of there as well. Fucking typing in the thing, I shouldn't have done that. Johnny Kuminga, that was a name I was just about to bring up as a name to chuck in the list of guys. There goes Derek Lively, so that's off my queue. Taylor Hendricks. I like Hendricks as a player. I don't know that I would have done that. The other name I got, there goes DeJounte as well. Is that Dan as well? Yeah, look, Dan's playing the Roto game. Good for him. Bub Carrington, fine. Again, we're talking upside here. I'm going to throw Boucher, just so I know that, so you know the names that we're considering here. Gaza as well. There goes Neesmith, who I think is okay here. Totally reasonable pick. I've already thrown Whitmore and Pippen in there. I am surprised that given the Max Strus news that Hunter has not gone. Isaiah Collier, all right, so if you're hunting assists, that's okay. He might not start, but we take chances here at this point. Jabari Smith. The other one to watch here is going to be, I've got Cam Whitmore there, but I'm going to throw Keyshawn George into that mix as well. Does that work? Yeah. It's like a 10-man queue here with 3 picks left. I don't know that I'll need to add anybody else in, and I don't really know who I'm taking here. Well, there goes Scott Pippen. That's one name off the list. I think I'll take Hunter and then probably back it up with a Whitmore or Ivy. Or a half. A half. Oh. It's a mock, Josh. Don't take it too serious. As I have coffee, it's 8 in the morning. Got to wake up somehow. Santi Aldama, which is fine. I think Aldama's role will be higher early when Jaron might... Oh, Jaden Ivey goes. I don't like that from you. Because I would have taken him. Let's take DeAndre Hunter there. And then we'll go to the Whitmore or Huff pick. Probably Huff, I think. But as you can see, I've got a bunch of names that are like... Filipowski just went. Again, Filipowski might be solid, but he might play 23 minutes off the bench. There's some weird stuff to go through with that team. Someone asked what ADP Ivy is at, 121. Ivy is 121 ADP. Dylan Harper just goes at 145. Cool. I'm taking J Huff. I got one pick coming back around. And I don't think I'll get Whitmore, but I hope I can get George or one of the Celtics centers. There's quite a bit here that's interesting. Jared McCain, maybe. Dosunmu, maybe. Legos, Keyshawn, George. That's going to trigger someone to take Whitmore, I'm pretty sure. Someone said I got snipped again. The word is sniped, and you didn't because we're 10 picks away. Chris Paul goes at 148. Okay. I'm not against it. Mitchie Robinson, yeah, okay. These are I like the way that most of these picks are. Wow. Alden Maisie, I've been critical of your team, but then of course you came in at the last minute to annoy me and snag the big fella Cam Whitmore. And then goes Musa Diabate. So does that trigger someone to take Filipowski? O'Shea Brissett takes Adem Bona. I like it. Again, you can stash in Roto. He can sit there all season. It's a really, really good pick. Isaiah Jackson. Dan is hedging. Oh, you know what? You know who the guy at the moment, and I don't know that this is going to be anything interesting. The guy that gained the buzz yesterday was Goga Badadze. People say, he's got to start. I don't think he will, but what if he does? I just want to bring the name up. I don't think he's going to start. Zach Collins? See, look, it doesn't seem like Vooch is going at this point, but again, we're in Roto. You can have Zach Collins and you can sit on it for 2 months and wait 4 months. There goes Yves Misi at 156. Yeah, he's terrible. But that's okay. That guy's gone, yeah. Tony's made some picks that I don't love. But again, I do like that one though, Tone. Zach Ricochet, I think that's pretty good there. Who else am I got one pick left, obviously. Kevin Huerter might be a name. Well, there goes Gaza. But Huerter's not really an upside play, is he? Like, Goga is. Boucher is. They probably don't work. In fact, they almost definitely don't. Who just went then? Keon Ellis. Yeah, AJ Mitchell. That's not happening. It's just not happening. What the fuck? What? All right. I like AJ Mitchell. Not happening. But, hey, talk your shit. Go for it. Ryan Kalkbrenner. The big Kark. Ace Bailey. Should have been drafted, yes. Agreed. Not going to be good at all in Roto. In fact, if you traditionally rank him, he'd probably look at like being 250th. It'd be my guess. Ayodesumu. Who am I? Do I just say? I don't want to take Goga because I honestly don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he's going to play starters minutes. But do I just take it just so? Jovic just went. Or do I take Boucher? Big Areola, Concanipple. I know I've talked about. I've talked about Goga a bit, so is it worth taking? Well, Boucher was going to be my guy. You know what? Just for... screw it. Let's go. Goga. Chris Middleton was the other name I was going to take there for a Roto perspective. But I look at my team, I go, do I have any real sort of flyer guys there? Like, not really. So, I think taking Goga was just a bit of a like, see how you're looking guy. Some names that didn't get drafted, Chris Middleton would be someone that I would be... Yeah, do I have someone that's currently injured on my team? Yeah, a few guys with injured flags, for sure. So I would grab Middleton. I would... Kelly Oubre would be interesting here. I think Grayson Allen's a little cheeky. I think Kevin Huerter, obviously. Yeah. Not really sure much more there. Oh, BJ Edgecombe, interesting he didn't get drafted. Davion Mitchell. If you want to go real flyery, you could have taken a Yegor Yolman, who actually I'm surprised that his game will be horrific in Roto Leagues. It will be very tough to deal with. So, I picked at 11. I took Steph. Then Booker, and then Giddey, third round reversal. Jim Butler, Porzingis, Ayton, Ingram, Toby Harris, Naz Reid, the Wizard of Noz, Dante DiVincenzo, the Big Ragu, Keegan Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Jay Huff, and Goga, the Dart, Badadze. And that's the team. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you understand the differences of Roto compared to Category League head-to-head, but also the fact that you don't have to be that different. If you're going to take one takeaway out of this, the players themselves don't have to be balanced. If we assume that we're not punting, which again is probably the way to go 80% of the time in Roto, the players don't have to be balanced. The team does. The team needs to be balanced. The players don't. You can do it with the players, but that narrows you down to about 20 players across the whole league who fit that category or that criteria. Don't rule out every player because, they've got like a negative here. They're shooting only 44 from the field. Don't rule them out because it's Roto and you think you've just got to have balance everywhere. It's not true. Make your team balanced. But you can make your team balanced with a -1 and a +1, the same as you can do it by having 2 zeros. The result is exactly the same. You have a -3 and a +3, or 2 zeros. The result is the same. So, there are multiple ways to get it in there. Alright, and that's how we're looking. I'm happy with how my team looks. I projected up the top, and I like that, but again, it's my projections. I would hope so. And yeah, look, the team that was really aggressive on the punt free throws ended up not being, they were bad, but say Tony's team, for example, projected basically the similar free throws. My team, the best free throws. So if we're not making trades on this team in season, like my projected free throws at 84%, it dwarfs other teams. So I can trade away some of that, get myself a little bit of steals in, which is what I'm lacking, a little bit of scoring somewhere else, and try and deal with that. But having a solid percentage base, because the further you go into a season in a Roto League, it's harder to move the percentages. You can catch some of the counting stats. It's harder to move the percentages. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.